Fall 2025 isn't shouting, it's editing. The most stylish women this season aren't chasing trends, they're composing them, quietly, precisely, with the kind of confidence that makes a city feel like a set made only for them. If summer was speculation, fall is the answer key. The silhouette slows down, the palette deepens, and clothes begin to work like sentences that say exactly what you meant. Start with line. Length returns as a form of grace. Coats skim the shin, skirts land mid-calf, trousers run long enough to graze the shoe and then decide to keep going. The point isn't drama, it's calm. Long verticals focus the eye and make even flat shoes look deliberate. Volume exists, but it's domesticated. One piece gets architecture, perhaps a rounded shoulder, a fuller leg, a sculpted skirt, while everything else supports the lead. This balance is what reads expensive without a single logo, air where you need it, precision where you don't. Tailoring softens but keeps its bones. Jackets hover a breath off the body, darts curve rather than pinch. Trousers carry weight through the thigh and fall straight with a crease that doesn't argue. The new power suit is quiet, almost devotional to movement. It lets you inhale, it lets you walk fast, it lets you sit and look better when you stand up. Suiting in fall 2025 is presence without armor, authority written in millimeters. Knitwear becomes architecture. Not just sweaters, but systems, compact ribs that lengthen the body, fine-gauge columns that slip under coats like they were born there, half-zips and polo necks with a librarian's discipline and a dancer's ease. Knits are now a climate strategy, silk blended for glide, wool for temperature, cashmere for hush. Edges roll softly, seams lie flat, cuffs kiss the wrist bone. The most elegant women use knit sets, top and skirt, tank and cardigan, as the backbone of their week, and let accessories write the verbs. Texture is the season's currency. Fabrics that look like they were brushed by hand, flannel that polishes, boucle with small topography, sueded twills that absorb light like a good room. Leather goes matte and intellectual, more bibliophile than biker. Suede appears where you don't expect it, structured enough to hold a shape, soft enough to feel like a secret. When color stays quiet, texture does the styling and every photograph becomes better than the mirror. Color shifts from exclamation to edit. The base is mineral and grounded, slate, bone, ink, tobacco, bitter chocolate. Into that one note of intention, ox blood that feels like late afternoon, forest that reads as breath, petrol that looks like night. Red evolves from spectacle to standard, deeper, lacquered, used like punctuation at the mouth. A bag, a glove. Metallics walk in daylight but behave with manners. Brushed silver, antique brass, pewter hardware that catches light and then lets it go. The most modern palettes feel inevitable on the skin. They flatter without asking for attention. Accessories get sculptural and precise. Bags shrink in footprint and grow in shape, literacy, soft rectangles, moons, domes you want to hold because they resolve the outfit. Hardware has weight, closures meet with conviction. Chains appear where you can't see them, inside hems as counterweight at the base of handles to correct a swing. Shoes ground rather than perform. Almond toes, stable heels, stretch boots that meet hemlines cleanly, flats sharpened with a strap or a squared edge. The test is movement, stairs chosen over escalators because the shoe invited you. Transparency matures, sheerness stops being a dare and becomes atmosphere. Chiffon over matte foundations. Open knits layered like good lighting, organza that edits, not exposes. The effect is intimacy, not spectacle. Skin suggested through air rather than announced by absence. It's a way to make day look alive in shadow and night feel like a secret you agreed to share. Proportion is a conversation between column and cocoon. The column, long, lean, uninterrupted, makes you look decisive. The cocoon, rounded back, forward shoulder, sleeve that widens and then narrows, makes you feel held. The best looks toggle the two, column under cocoon, cocoon over column. A single belt can draw a line through volume and turn ease into intention. This season uses belts like architects use pencil, one stroke that clarifies the building. Office dressing returns as an idea rather than a uniform, call it intelligent polish. Shirts with drape instead of starch. Skirts that move when you do and then remember their shape. Vests layered as punctuation. Ties reimagined as ribbons or scarf bands, thin and precise, nothing nostalgic. It's workwear designed for people who do things, not for photos of people who do things. Denim grows up, rises lift without aggression, washes mute into slate and ink, cuts loosen in ways that respect shoes and coats. Denim is treated like tailoring, steamed, pressed, hemmed to a conviction. The pair that wins is the one that takes a crease, meets a boot cleanly, and can sit in a meeting without changing your outline. Outerwear is the thesis you repeat every day. Trench coats gain weight and lose noise, storm flaps function, belts tie and hold. Wrap coats curve at the shoulder and don't shed their belt loops in protest. Cocoon coats are drafted to keep your hands free. Every collar frames the face. When a coat is right, the rest of the outfit becomes a rumor. That's why the most stylish women buy this category first. Jewelry becomes small sculpture, one cuff with gravity, hoops with thickness and an oval you can feel, chains that lie rather than kink. Stones go opaque and intelligent, onyx, pearl, labradorite, tiger's eye. Metal matches your hardware, so the outfit compresses into one idea. Jewelry sits close to the body, intensifies a wrist, a ear, a throat, no jingling. Sound is a tell, beauty follows suit. Skin with dimension, not glass, a blurred mouth, brow disciplined but not declared. Hair that moves, fragrance that sits close, woods, tea, resin, skin scents that feel like part of the knit. The goal is harmony. You look like the clothes sound. Logos recede into gamesmanship. House codes embed in surfaces. Quilting translated into knit structure. Chain implied as weight in hems. Monograms dissolved into weave. Recognition replaces announcement. The pleasure becomes personal. You see it because you know how to look. Craft is the new status. Visible hand, hidden labor. Crochet with structure. Embroidery that whispers. Fringe that behaves like physics. In a world that duplicates, the rarest thing is effort. Women respond to garments that prove someone cared. Sustainability shows up as longevity, not lecture. Finishes that age well, leathers that take conditioner, wools that can be brushed back to life, buttons you can replace, linings you can restitch. The real luxury is a piece you improve by using. The trend under every trend is coherence. Wardrobes that speak one dialect even when the pieces come from different places. Repetition isn't boring, it's believable. The most elegant closets this fall are variations on a theme. One trouser silhouette in 2 fabrics, one knit neckline in 3 tones, one coat length across moods. You'll be surprised how much this looks like wealth. If you want a working map, use 3 anchors. Line, lengthen and clarify. Touch, choose matte, mixed densities. Let texture speak. Intention, add one decisive element, a belt, a scarf, a sculptural shoe that turns dressing into composing. These anchors make any trend wear like your idea rather than the industry's. There is still room for play. Red as a neutral, a mouth, a glove, a shoe. Metallics in daylight, brushed and serious. Feathers used like punctuation at a cuff. A thin scarf doubly wrapped and left to fall like a line of poetry down a coat. Play that respects silence is the new chic. Psychologically, fall 2025 is a correction from years of spectacle. Clothes are built to organize your life instead of advertising it. You feel the change in posture. You hear it in the absence of noise. No jangling hardware, no squeaky synthetics, no frantic silhouette. Elegance is sound design as much as shape. And underneath it all, there's a kind of generosity. These trends aren't asking you to become someone else. They're offering tools to become legible to yourself. A long line that slows the day, a knit that carries you across rooms, a coat that makes the weather part of the scene, not the problem, a shoe that lets you choose the long way home. That's what every stylish woman will be wearing in 2025. Choices that look quiet and feel decisive. A wardrobe that speaks in complete sentences, craft that reads in low light, proportions that move like breath, accessories that end the thought with a period, not an exclamation point. Fashion that earns its place because it makes your life look like it already fits. When the air finally cools and the city turns reflective, step into it in a long coat with a spine, a knit with a mind, a trouser with a crease that keeps its promise, a bag that shuts with a soft click only you hear. Walk at your own pace. Let colour come and go like weather. And watch how everything, rooms, days, conversations organises around your outline. That's fall 2025. Not louder, clearer.